Have you ever looked at your partner during the summer and thought, how can we both love our kids so much and have completely different ideas about what's best for them? And maybe you're arguing about bedtime, about screen time, or how many camps your kids should attend, and whether they should have chores or how much freedom they should have, or whether summer should feel structured or relaxed. Now, most couples think that those are the problems. I actually don't. I think these conversations are revealing something much deeper. You're not arguing about bedtime. You're bringing two different childhoods into one home. And until you understand that, you'll probably keep having the same argument over and over again. Hi, I'm Catherine O'Brien. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Sacramento, California. For more than 20 years, I have helped couples and families navigate the transitions that come with parenthood. And one thing I've noticed is that summer has a unique way of shining light on differences that were already there. Not because your relationship suddenly changed, and not because one of you became a worse parent, but because summer removes the structure that was quietly making many of our parenting decisions for us. So today I want to help you understand why this happens, why it's completely normal, and how you can actually use these differences to become stronger parenting partners. So let's start with something most parents have never thought about. During the school year, the alarm goes off, school starts, lunch happens at a certain time during the day, homework has to get done, sports have practices, dinner fits around a schedule, and bedtime is more predictable. So even if your family isn't perfectly organized, there's usually a rhythm to life. And that rhythm quietly answers dozens of parenting questions that need to happen every single day. Then summer arrives, and suddenly those questions belong to you. Should the kids sleep in? How late should they stay up? Should they have chores? How much screen time is okay? Do they need camps? Should they read every day? Should they have a schedule? Or should summer simply be a break? Those aren't just logistical questions, they're parenting philosophy questions, and that's why they have become so emotionally charged. Let me tell you about a couple, and it's based on many families that I've worked with over the years, but for the ease of this conversation, we'll call them Emily and Jason. So Emily grew up in a home where summer still had structure. There were chores to be done, reading time, bedtimes, family dinners, and she remembers feeling safe because there was some predictability. She didn't probably know it at the time, but looking back now, that's how she felt. Jason had a completely different experience. He rode his bike until it was dark, he spent hours with his neighborhood friends, and his parents believed that summer was a time to relax after such a busy school year. Now, neither childhood was right, neither one was wrong either. They were just simply different. And now we fast forward 20 years, and they're raising children together, and Emily says, I don't want the kids watching TV all day. Jason says, well, they've worked hard all year. Let them enjoy their summer. Emily is worrying that without routines, everyone's going to become cranky and disconnected, where Jason maybe is worrying that too many rules is going to take the fun out of their childhood. And so they're frustrated, and each thinks the other one just doesn't get it. But here's what's really fascinating, is that neither one is actually arguing about television. They're trying to protect something that mattered deeply in their own childhood. And that's where I want us to spend most of our time today. One of the things I say all the time in my therapy office is this: behavior makes more sense when you understand what it is trying to protect. So think about that for a moment. Maybe your partner wants structure. It's probably not because they enjoy making rules, maybe they do, but maybe the structure represents stability for them. Security, predictability, responsibility. Maybe they grew up in a home where routines made them feel safe. On the other hand, maybe your partner wants flexibility. And that doesn't necessarily mean they don't value responsibility. Maybe they value freedom, creativity, adventure, rest, connection. And maybe they remember feeling happiest when summer wasn't scheduled from morning until night. See how different that feels? Instead of asking, who's right? What value is each of us trying to protect? So curiosity creates connection, and judgment usually creates distance. This is one of the simplest ways to understand why parenting can feel so complicated. Every one of us walks into parenthood carrying experiences from the family we grew up in. And some experiences we want to repeat, and some we desperately want to avoid. And without even realizing it, we often assume our way feels normal. But your partner has a completely different map. And now the two of you are creating this brand new family together. And that isn't about deciding whose childhood was better. It's about intentionally deciding what kind of childhood you want to create for your children. And that's going to be a very different conversation. Family systems theory teaches us that we don't parent in isolation. We parent within the context of our own experiences, our beliefs, our relationships, and our family history. Research also consistently shows that children benefit from predictable routines because routines create a sense of security and reduce stress. Now, at the same time, children also benefit from play, from flexibility, from downtime, and opportunities to build independence. Do you notice anything? This isn't an either-or conversation. Healthy families often need both. The question isn't whether structure or flexibility wins. The question is, how do we create enough of both for our family? So tool number 1, stop asking who's right. One of the biggest traps couples fall into is trying to decide whose parenting style is better. Should kids have more freedom or more structure? Should they sleep in or keep a routine? Should they have chores every day or should summer be a break for them? Now, those questions usually lead to defensiveness because they assume there's one right answer. Instead, I want you to ask a different question. What are we hoping our children experience this summer? Now, notice how different that feels. Maybe one of you wants your children to experience responsibility, the other wants to experience freedom, one wants consistency, the other wants joy and spontaneity. Those aren't competing goals. They're both actually gifts. When couples stop arguing about the rule and start talking about the value underneath it, the conversation changes completely. One of the things I love about being a marriage and family therapist is helping couples discover that they often are on the same team. They've just been using different languages to describe what's important and matters most. Tool number 2, create a family vision, not a list of rules. One of the mistakes I see every summer is families spending far more time planning activities than talking about the kind of summer they actually want to create. Before camps fill up, before vacations begin, before everyone's schedules become full, sit down together for 20 minutes and ask questions like, what do we hope our kids remember this summer? How do we want our home to feel? What traditions matter most to us? What routines are worth protecting? And what can we let go of? Notice that none of those questions are about bedtime or screen time. They're about values. Research from relationship expert John Gottman suggests that healthy couples don't simply solve problems, they build shared meaning. They create a sense that they're building something together rather than trying to win against each other. And that's exactly what we're doing when we create a family vision. You're moving from my way versus your way to what kind of family are we trying to become? And tool number 3, remember that good parenting evolves. There's something I've been thinking about a lot lately because my own family looks so different than it did even a few years ago. When my children were younger, summer involved camps, coordinating schedules, figuring out childcare, and making sure everyone got where they needed to go. There were a lot more logistics than there are now. There was a lot more planning, but now my children, they're teenagers and they make plans with friends without me. They're much more independent, and we still have a family vacation each year, and my husband and I each try to take a short one-on-one trip with both of our kids. We also make it a priority to have family dinners together. Those conversations matter to us, but the rhythm has changed, and there's something I really want every parent to hear. What your family needs this summer may be completely different from what it needed 3 years ago. Sometimes parents accidentally keep parenting the child they used to have instead of the child standing in front of them today. Now, healthy parent isn't rigid, it's responsive. It grows with your children. And tool number 4, let curiosity lead. If you watched my videos before, you've probably heard me say this: curiosity creates connection. I really believe that. So here's an exercise I'd love for you to try. Ask your partner these 2 questions. What did summer feel like in your family growing up? Now, don't ask what they did, ask what it felt like. Did it feel relaxed, chaotic, lonely, fun, predictable, stressful? And then ask, what part of that experience do you hope our children have? And listen without trying to convince, without coaching them, without defending. Just listen, because I think you'll discover something important. Most parents aren't trying to make life difficult for each other. They're trying to give their children something they either treasured or something they wish they had had. And that realization creates compassion, and compassion makes collaboration possible. So before we finish, I want to leave you with one thought. One of the greatest gifts we can give our children isn't perfect parenting. It's watching 2 adults learn how to work together, even when they see things differently. And your children don't need parents who agree about everything. They need parents who respect each other, who stay curious, who can have these hard conversations, and who are willing to say, I had never thought about it that way. Because that's what healthy relationships look like. And remember, you're not trying to recreate the family you came from. You're intentionally creating the family you're building together. And that's going to take some time, and it takes grace. And before you go, I'd love to leave you with one question to think about this week, or better yet, to ask your partner. What part of our childhood do you hope to pass down to our children? And what part do you hope ends with us? I think the answer to that question will tell you far more about your parenting than any disagreement over bedtime ever could. So next week, we'll be talking about something almost every parent experiences, but few people recognize: why you suddenly find yourself snapping at everyone during the summer. So even when you love your family deeply, and I'll explain what's happening in your nervous system, why it makes so much sense, and what you can do before you reach a breaking point. So if that sounds like something you need, I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And remember, stay curious with yourself and with the people that you love, because curiosity creates connection. And connection grows through small moments. I'll see you next week.